and welcome to this Severne shop video, and we are detailing the Severne Dyno Chronicles. So what is the Dyno Chronicles? Well, basically in 2017 Severne released their first all-round board, which is this one, the Dino version 1. Now this board really hit the market and really changed quite a few things. So what was different about it? Well, basically it had straighter rails, it had a double concave, and also had bevels on the front edge, which really made this board behave exceptionally in chop. Jumping was very, very good, jibing exceptional, and early planing very, very good as well. So it was a shorter board, so if you were coming from a longer board, then maybe what you'd find to begin with is it would luff up into wind, but once you got used to that and just dialed into that, the board was really good. This board came with G10 fins. I found them a little bit on the stiff side personally, but they were there to get your planing. 20 centimeter center fin, 12.5 either side. And so this board really did hit the market and was exceedingly popular. Just interestingly enough, the graphics on this were designed in one day. They had one day to design this graphic, and to be fair, what a graphic, just really good. But a year and a half down the line, they felt it needed a refresh. But the flavor of the board was so good that they didn't want to change the shape essentially. So the V2 was born. And as you can see, big change in the graphics, moving along to the SV type logoing and branding, but the shape was exactly the same. So if we look underneath, the only thing that essentially changed was the foot straps, which we'll show you, and the fins. You can see here they've now gone with composite fins, which felt slightly softer, which I thought was a good move, but still a 20 and 12.5 either side. The straps were changed. No change in the really graphics more than anything else, and a bit more comfort, to be fair. These were quite comfortable. So that we had that, but no change in shape. So basically the boards were exactly the same. Now we move on to 2020 and we move on to the Dyno version 3. And as you can see, visually it's a completely different board. But what I will say is, it looks it, but it isn't, because although the nose shape is different, essentially the dimensions are basically the same. And also underneath, the shaping, the double concave, the bevels either side, all of those exactly the same. The soft rails at the front stiffening up. Still, you can see these rails are still quite stiff, straight at either side here. So basically, although there has been a change in graphic and a change in shape, the flavour is exactly the same as these boards, albeit the things that I would say is that what this does better than these ones, because of course progress is not progress unless you're getting better at stuff, and that is this board planes earlier, for sure, and it goes faster, for sure. So that's the two key things, but it still handles chop exceptionally well, it still jibes exceptionally well, it still jumps really well. On this board, they did increase the size of the fin slightly, so I've actually gone with a K4 fin, dropped it down to 18 centimeters. I think the standard is 21, but it's still composite, so still feels a bit softer, but you might want to play with the fins. All these boards can be used in a tri-fin configuration or a single fin configuration, and they feel really good in that configuration. More free ride feel, more locked in feel if you go with a single fin. But most people tend to use them as a tri-fin, and yeah, that is the Dyno board. Really, really good. This is the new one to come out. Really, we rate them very highly. Oh, one thing to remember with all these boards, and that is Ben didn't want a standard construction, so he went with a Cmc Construction, okay, a compressed mold composite construction, which is basically different to sandwich construction, which is what just about every other board is made of. So these were tough little cookies. These were found to be a tougher board than the sandwich construction boards, and also they didn't scratch along the rails. Look, take a look at this. You've got a bit of scratching, but this is a 3-year-old board here, so you can see very little wear. Even V2, look, even less. Of course, there's not going to be much on my one because this is a very new board, but so a tougher board than other boards. So there you have it, the Dyno Chronicles. 3 versions, all very, very good. Go with either one. You'll find slight nuances with each one. This, the latest V3, is really a very, very good board indeed. Any further information, give us a shout, go on the website and make contact, and we can supply you one if you wish. Thanks for watching.